In a world where every choice can be a turning point, determining whether a person rises above the ordinary or gets lost in the faceless crowd, a natural question arises. How does one acquire the clarity and determination that distinguish leaders from followers? Is there a way to grasp the principles that instill courage, setting the select few apart from the timid masses? The answer lies in the wisdom of Niccolò Machiavelli, a historical figure whose works evoke both admiration and criticism. His teachings reveal a mindset that allows one to stand out in a world where conformity is so often rewarded. Over the next 20 minutes, we will delve deeply into timeless truths about human nature, leadership, and survival, where each lesson brings us closer to understanding key strategies. The culmination will be knowledge capable of transforming one's view of the world. This is not merely an excursion into history or philosophy. It is a journey toward awakening inner potential, toward realizing one's strength and possibilities. Through the lens of Machiavelli's teachings, we will uncover the reasons why courage, strategic thinking, and unwavering self-confidence become keys to success in any life situation. In this context, however, we are not talking about cunning manipulations or displays of cruelty, but about achieving clarity of thought, unwavering resilience, and the ability to confidently navigate a complex and often ruthless world. At the very beginning of this journey, it is important to ask ourselves key questions. Are you content with the role of a follower, or do you have enough courage to take on the role of a leader and lead others? Are you simply striving to survive, or are you ready to unlock your potential and thrive? Let's try to figure this out together. Since the dawn of civilization, humanity has been captivated by the complex dynamics of power, who possesses it, how it is maintained, and what allows some people to rise while others fade into obscurity. Niccolò Machiavelli, in his groundbreaking work, The Prince, presented ideas that remain relevant to this day. His teaching is not about resorting to deception for the sake of deception, but about a deep understanding of the rules of the game that is life and the ability to skillfully play it. Transforming into a wolf among sheep begins with recognizing a fundamental truth. Perception shapes reality. Machiavelli emphasized that how you are perceived by others often matters more than your true intentions or abilities. He wrote, "Men in general judge more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see but few can feel." In other words, first impressions and the ability to present oneself play a crucial role in achieving success and influence. An individual's influence in society often lies in their image, in how they demonstrate confidence, competence, and strength. It is not always the loudest or highest status person who attracts the most attention. Rather, it is the person who exudes purposefulness and control. Machiavelli argued that creating such an impression is not deception, but rather a necessity. Leaders who understand this principle know how to combine sincerity with strategic thinking. So how do you create such a perception? It all starts with deep self-knowledge, understanding your strengths and weaknesses, values, and goals. An individual, like a wolf, does not try to pretend to be someone they are not, and does not apologize for their nature. Accepting your unique qualities and knowing how to emphasize them is the first step to becoming a significant force. Machiavelli also emphasized the importance of adaptation. He argued that those who succeed are not those who are rigid in their approaches, but those who are flexible and able to adapt to changing circumstances. In his opinion, he who adapts his policy to the times prospers, and likewise that he whose policy clashes with the demands of the times does not succeed. Like a wolf, you need to know when to attack, when to retreat, and when to observe. In a life context, this manifests as a deep understanding of the situation and rapid adaptation of tactics. Imagine a career race where simple diligence is not enough for promotion. It is necessary to convincingly demonstrate leadership qualities, the ability to take responsibility, and instill confidence in the team. This is not about climbing over heads, but about demonstrating strategic thinking and unwavering determination in overcoming difficulties. The wolf, as a symbol, emphasizes the importance of timeliness and decisiveness in actions. Let us recall Machiavelli's words. The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Often, procrastination or indecision in the face of emerging opportunities becomes the very line that separates triumph and failure. This principle applies to all areas of life, whether it is personal relationships or professional growth. Here arises a question. In which aspects of your life do you exercise restraint, awaiting the ideal confluence of circumstances? What bold steps can you take today to begin shaping the reality you aspire to? In concluding his reflections, Machiavelli emphasized that playing the wolf in sheep's clothing requires a delicate balance between instilling fear and earning respect. His famous assertion that it is preferable to be feared than loved if one cannot achieve both simultaneously is often misinterpreted. The essence here is not to sow panic, but to awaken a respectful attitude and ensure that one's persona is taken seriously by others. When people see a person who is not easily manipulated or undermined, they are more likely to respect established boundaries and decisions. Concluding this section, it is worth considering the impression one makes at present. Are they perceived as a leader, a decisive and courageous individual, or do they become lost in the faceless crowd, hesitant to express their individuality? It's crucial to remember that creating a certain impression is not hypocrisy or an attempt to appear as someone you are not, but rather aligning one's external appearance with inner strength and hidden potential. The next section will delve into the strategies and mindset necessary, not only for survival, but also for thriving in a world that constantly tests one's mettle. Particular attention will be given to the importance of calculated risk, forging strong alliances, and maintaining unwavering focus on achieving set goals. The time has come for deep self-reflection. Are you ready to awaken the dormant wolf within you? The path ahead is not for the faint of heart, but for those who possess the audacity to lead the pack. The rewards that await are unparalleled, for they concern the acquisition of genuine leadership and personal power that extend far beyond mere external manifestation. They require decisive action, underpinned by a carefully considered strategy. In our world, often mired in chaos and unpredictability, it is not only the strongest or the smartest who succeed, but also those who are willing to take calculated risks. Machiavelli's teachings emphasize that fortune favors the bold. As he famously wrote, "Fortune is a woman, and if you want to master her, you must strike her." This metaphor may seem harsh, but its essence is crystal clear. Life generously rewards those who take decisive steps and refuse to passively wait for opportunity to knock on the door. It is calculated risk that distinguishes the wolf from the sheep. The sheep obediently waits for the shepherd to show it the way, providing direction and protection. The wolf, on the other hand, forges its own path, fully aware that every decision entails both potential benefits and inevitable consequences. Niccolò Machiavelli, the eminent Renaissance thinker, asserted that those who strive for greatness must be prepared to fearlessly delve into the unknown and recognize opportunities where others see only threats. He labeled this quality virtù, a concept that transcends the ordinary understanding of virtue as a moral principle. Virtù, according to Machiavelli, is the aggregate of willpower, courage, and resourcefulness necessary for a person to become the architect of their own destiny. It is worth recalling moments from personal experience when hesitation and fear of possible failure or rejection stifled action. Perhaps it was a missed opportunity to drastically change one's field of work, build new relationships, or assert one's interests decisively. How would life have unfolded if there had been enough courage to act then? Machiavelli reminds us that the risk of inaction often far outweighs the risk of failure. In his view, even a failed attempt can become a valuable lesson, while hesitation and indecision condemn one to a state of stagnation and powerlessness. However, courage alone is not enough to achieve success. Machiavelli emphasized the exceptional importance of building strong alliances. After all, no wolf can survive and thrive in solitude. Even the most powerful leader needs the support and loyalty of comrades. Similarly, success often depends on the relationships that one cultivates and maintains throughout life. Niccolò Machiavelli, the insightful thinker, instructed rulers to surround themselves with wise advisors and loyal comrades, asserting that trust and mutual benefit serve as an unshakable foundation for strong alliances. In the context of personal life, it is worth considering the people who make up one's immediate circle. Do they contribute to personal growth and instill confidence, or do they drain energy and undermine self-belief? Developing meaningful relationships involves finding those who motivate you to improve, share in the joys of your victories, and support you in moments of failure. Just as the strength of a wolf is manifested in the unity of the pack, personal strength grows through the support of like-minded individuals who share common values and aspirations. Another cornerstone of Machiavelli's philosophy is the ability to concentrate on what is most important. A wolf does not scatter its attention on every rabbit that runs by, but carefully chooses its prey and strikes with precision. In life, this manifests as the ability to set clear goals and resist distractions. Machiavelli warned rulers against complacency and losing their bearings, emphasizing that discipline and determination are necessary to maintain power and influence. In today's world, with its rapid pace and abundance of information, distractions lurk at every turn. Social media, endless to-do lists, and external pressures can lead you away from truly important goals. To awaken the inner wolf, you must learn to prioritize and remain true to your own vision. Everyone should periodically ask themselves, what are the 3 main goals they are pursuing at this moment in their lives? And more importantly, do their daily actions align with the realization of these goals, or are they wasting their energy on trivialities and minor concerns? Niccolò Machiavelli, an outstanding thinker of the Renaissance, emphasized the need to boldly accept the challenges of fate. He noted that the lion, a symbol of strength and courage, is unable to recognize and avoid traps, while the fox, the embodiment of cunning and resourcefulness, is defenseless against wolves. Therefore, a person needs to combine the qualities of both beasts, be a fox to notice the set nets in time, and a lion to ward off ill-wishers. This duality, a harmonious combination of cunning and strength, allows a person to successfully navigate a complex and often unfriendly world. Being cunning like a fox means developing emotional intelligence and strategic thinking, being able to recognize the right moment for delicacy and directness, for speaking and remaining silent. Strength, like that of a lion, implies developing resilience and courage. Life inevitably puts obstacles in everyone's path, but a strong person does not back down in front of them. They learn from their mistakes, adapt to changing circumstances, and become stronger with each new trial. It is worth considering how this duality manifests itself in your own life. Does a person rely too much on one side, showing excessive caution like a fox, or excessive audacity like a lion? How to find a balance between these qualities and embody them in oneself to achieve the set goals. As we approach the end of this chapter, it is time to think about the specific steps that can be taken today to initiate a transformation of thinking and behavior patterns. Where exactly is the area in which you can consciously take a calculated risk, opening up new horizons? What relationships with others require strengthening or perhaps rethinking to achieve greater harmony? What elements of daily life distract from the tasks at hand and require immediate elimination to maintain unwavering concentration on your own goals? In the subsequent part of the narrative, we will delve into the exploration of the emotional and psychological aspects of leadership and resilience. We will learn how to tame our own emotions, how to positively influence others, and how to use the indomitable power of persistence to overcome any obstacles. The path of the wolf is by no means strewn with roses, but for those who are ready to accept this challenge, the reward is truly immeasurable. Leadership and resilience are not just a set of actions, they are also the art of mastering one's inner world, requiring constant self-improvement. Niccolò Machiavelli, an outstanding thinker of his time, was well aware of this relationship, exploring not only external strategies, but also the intricacies of the human mind. To become a true leader, whether a leader of other people or a leader of one's own life, it is necessary, first of all, to conquer oneself, subduing one's weaknesses and fears. A wolf thrives not because it does not know fear, but because it has learned to master that fear, turning it into a source of focus and unwavering determination. Niccolò Machiavelli, an insightful thinker of the Renaissance, deeply understood the importance of owning one's feelings. He argued that a leader striving for success must possess unwavering self-control, especially in times of trial. His words read, "A ruler is respected when he proves himself a loyal ally and a formidable adversary." In other words, the ability to make sound decisions and act effectively stems from the ability to manage your emotions, discerning when to be gentle and when to be firm. Think back to a time when you succumbed to the power of anger, fear, or uncertainty. Did it bring you closer to your desired goal, or did it cloud your judgment? Like a predator, a wolf does not act rashly. It observes carefully, strategizes, and strikes at the most opportune moment. This level of self-control begins with awareness of one's own emotional reactions and the ability to consciously choose one's course of action instead of blindly following impulses. Furthermore, Machiavelli emphasized the value of patience, considering it a key factor in determining triumph or defeat. The wolf demonstrates this quality, knowing how to lie in wait, conserving energy for the perfect moment. In life, patience is not inaction, but rather active preparation and positioning oneself advantageously, so that when the opportune moment arrives, one can act decisively and confidently. However, emotional mastery extends beyond mere patience or self-control. It also encompasses unwavering perseverance. Niccolò Machiavelli, a perceptive thinker, argued that mistakes and failures are an inherent part of life's journey, but the true measure of a leader is their ability to recover from setbacks. He astutely observed that titles do not elevate a person, but rather people imbue titles with significance through their actions. Essentially, resilience, the ability to not give up in the face of adversity, characterizes a person's strength far more than any external achievements. To embody this resilience, one must change one's attitude toward challenges, viewing them as a springboard for personal growth. When faced with rejection, disappointment, or failure, ask yourself, what lessons can I learn from this situation, and how can this experience make me stronger? Like a wolf, which sees failure not as the end of the road, but as an opportunity to adapt and become stronger, one must be able to adapt to circumstances. Another important aspect of Machiavelli's philosophy is the ability to influence others. Leadership is not about striving for dominance, but about inspiring and guiding. He wrote, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." This principle applies to all areas of life. A person's influence increases when they help others, recognize their merits, and align their goals with their own vision. To gain influence, consider your communication style. How clear, persuasive, and purposeful are your words? Is enough time spent listening rather than just talking? Niccolò Machiavelli argued that outstanding leaders possess the gift of communication, knowing how to inspire loyalty and trust. The wolf does not have the roar of a lion, but its presence commands respect. Influence requires consistency. People are drawn to leaders who demonstrate stability, reliability, and commitment to principles. Machiavelli warned against inconsistency, considering it destructive to trust and authority. In your own life, strive for consistency not only in your actions, but also in your values and the decisions you make. Reflecting on the emotional and psychological aspects of leadership, one cannot forget courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. Machiavelli emphasized that leaders must show decisiveness, even in the most unpredictable situations. He wrote, "There is no avoiding war. It can only be postponed to the advantage of others." This statement reminds us that to achieve greatness, one must boldly step into the unknown and fearlessly face challenges. So, how do you cultivate this very courage, this virtue that distinguishes the strong in spirit? Start with consciously accepting discomfort, with a willingness to face challenges head-on. Think of the wolf, this proud inhabitant of the wilderness. It does not run from harsh realities, but finds in them the source of its strength. Seek out opportunities to leave your comfortable zone, whether it's mastering unexplored skills, resolving complex life conflicts, or boldly realizing a cherished dream. Each such act of courage, like tempering steel, strengthens your inner resilience, bringing you closer to the triumph of achieving your goals. In conclusion of this reflection, allow yourself to ponder how to master your inner world. How to tame raging emotions, channeling their energy into a stream of crystal clarity and unwavering focus. Which past failures, like scars on the heart, can be reinterpreted as valuable lessons, as steps leading to personal growth. And finally, how to inspire and lead others, demonstrating unwavering consistency in words and deeds, mastery of communication, and, of course, unwavering courage. In the concluding part of this narrative, we will bring all the elements together, exploring how to fully embody the mindset of the wolf, applying its principles in every area of life. We will reveal the last and perhaps the most transformative lesson from Machiavelli's wise teachings, a principle capable of forever changing your approach to the challenges and opportunities that fate generously presents to us. The path is far from over, and the most powerful revelation, like a bright star, awaits us ahead. The culmination of the complex path of transformation into a wolf skillfully disguised among sheep becomes a fundamental principle: absolute responsibility for one's life. Machiavelli, a perceptive thinker, argued that true power grows from the realization that nothing external, be it circumstances, people, or the whims of fortune, has power over your destiny. His catchphrase, "Every man is the artisan of his own fortune," succinctly expresses the essence of his philosophy and the wolf's worldview. Unwavering self-confidence, willingness to take responsibility for one's actions, and unquenchable determination. To fully embrace this philosophy, it is necessary to get rid of the illusory sense of control over everything that happens. Machiavelli recognized the influence of luck and external factors on the course of life. However, he emphasized that it is in our power to choose a reaction, adapt to changes, and direct circumstances to our advantage. The wolf, faced with a harsh winter or a raging storm, does not give in to despondency and curses. Instead, he seeks shelter, adjusts his plans, and continues to move steadily towards his intended goal. At the heart of this principle lies the concept of responsibility, the cornerstone of self-determination. To become the master of your destiny, you must resolutely refuse to shift the blame for failures on others or on the vicissitudes of the external world. Niccolo Machiavelli, a perceptive thinker, considered excuses to be a refuge for the weak in spirit, those who avoid confronting their own flaws and are unwilling to take responsibility for the consequences of their decisions. The true wolf, on the other hand, takes full responsibility for every action, every choice, and, as a result, every outcome. He realizes that although he has no control over external circumstances, he always has control over his reaction to them. Think back to a recent challenging situation you faced. How did you approach its resolution? Did you show a sense of responsibility and willingness to act? Or did you allow disappointment and mutual accusations to cloud your mind and paralyze your will? Taking responsibility begins with asking yourself the question, what can I do to change the course of events? How can I adapt to the new conditions and overcome the obstacles that have arisen? This way of thinking not only empowers but also tempers character, strengthening resilience to the blows of fate and confidence in one's own strength. Another essential aspect of the principle under consideration is unwavering faith in oneself. Machiavelli strongly warned against excessive dependence on others, whether in search of approval, guidance, or a sense of security. He wrote that a wise ruler always seeks to rely on his own resources and not on the mercy of others. This is not a call for isolation or a rejection of help from others, but rather an urgent recommendation to develop skills, accumulate knowledge, and strengthen inner strength in order to be able to stand firmly on your feet even when no one can provide support. Self-confidence, as a tireless process, requires continuous self-improvement. Like a wolf that constantly hones its instincts and prepares for new challenges, a person needs to invest in themselves, whether through education, personal growth, or the development of skills that contribute to greater independence. It is important to ask yourself, In which areas of life does excessive dependence on others manifest itself? And what steps can be taken to increase self-sufficiency? In the spirit of Machiavelli's teachings, one should remember the importance of clarity of goals and unwavering focus on their achievement. The outstanding thinker emphasized that a leader must possess not only a vision, but also the determination to relentlessly pursue it. The famous statement, "the end justifies the means," is often misinterpreted. Machiavelli did not call for immoral acts, but rather emphasized the need for unwavering commitment to one's goal, even in the face of difficulties and complex decisions. To embody this principle, it is necessary to clearly define your life vision. What do you really want to achieve? What are your long-term goals, and what steps are necessary to achieve them? A wolf does not wander aimlessly. Its movements are directed by a clear understanding of its needs and desires. Once your vision becomes clear, embrace it with unwavering focus, not retreating before obstacles. However, the path to clarity of thought also involves knowing when to abandon what has become obsolete and no longer beneficial. Niccolò Machiavelli, a perceptive political thinker, noted that reluctance to part with outdated strategies or alliances often leads to downfall. Like a wolf that instinctively senses when to abandon a depleted territory, a failed relationship, or an ineffective approach, a person should also possess the gift of foresight and the determination to let go of the past. In one's own life, it is worth considering which habits, beliefs, or connections are hindering progress and require revision. Moreover, Machiavelli argued that a willingness to embrace uncertainty is a prerequisite for achieving greatness. He wrote that fortune is fickle, but its nature remains constant. Life is full of surprises, but it is in this unpredictability that the wolf finds a source of prosperity, perceiving any change not as a threat, but as a new opportunity for growth and development. To fully master the wolf mindset, it is necessary to cultivate the courage to step into the unknown, trusting in one's ability to adapt to new conditions and learn from them. In conclusion of this exploration, it is worth recalling the key lessons that have been learned. From managing one's perception and adapting to circumstances to developing emotional intelligence, building effective influence, and accepting unconditional responsibility for one's life. These principles form the foundation of the so-called wolf mindset. Machiavelli's teaching serves as a reminder that greatness is not the preserve of the chosen few, but a goal achievable for anyone who is willing to cast aside fear, show resilience, and act deliberately and purposefully. Every person faces a crucial question. Are they ready to unlock their potential and take their destiny into their own hands? It is time to awaken the dormant power, to cultivate the spirit of the wolf, a symbol of leadership and independence. The choice that determines the future path must be made without delay. By taking responsibility for their decisions and actions, a person gains the ability to move forward purposefully, demonstrating will and determination. They become a leader capable not only of overcoming their own life's difficulties, but also of inspiring others by their example. The wolf, as is known, survives and thrives through its courage, ability to adapt to changing conditions, and unwavering pursuit of its goal. These qualities, inherent in the predator, can also become the basis for human success.